Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
All right, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 364. I did not find the hello song. I found an old episode of Brink, where you couldn't hear my computer audio, and I had plugged in the actual hello song. So it's like, basically, it's the actual file before an episode, because I was going through all the episodes, and you sniffle before or during the first second or two of the song every single time. And I went through about 100 episodes, and I could not find one non-sniffle hello song. So, but I got that, so we're okay now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know well, first off, so Jay a couple of years ago basically had his throat ripped out, more or less. You had your throat removed via surgery.
Oh yeah, I had my tonsils and my uvula.
Yeah. So is this your adenoids? Is that something different?
That is different. The tonsils and I think the adenoids are like next to the tonsils.
Okay, the uvula is the one that like for snoring, right?
The uvula is the punching bag. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you did the uvula surgery where they trim it or something, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so my wife has been goddamn tortured for a couple of years now with my snoring. I don't know where it came from. Just like the sniffling on the show, something's just fucking wrong with me. I'm a hard person to put up with, I guess. The snoring has been driving my wife crazy, where I wake up many nights where she's just in the other room sleeping because she's just like, I couldn't stand. Like she said, I woke up in the middle of the night, I have a goddamn tractor trailer train next to me. I can't sleep next to it. So I am going to get the uvula surgery as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm looking into it. I'm finally looking into it. The story's been driving her crazy, to the point also where like a lot of nights, there's some nights like we have an extra bedroom / office in our house, a fourth bedroom, where some nights I'll just go in there and I'll just go there to sleep instead of going to the bedroom, because I don't want to drive her insane. I'm like, I know she wants to sleep tonight. I'm going to drive her crazy. I'll go sleep in the other room. It's not the best situation, basically, where my snoring is so loud that it just drives her insane. Do you feel like I should do something about that?
Yeah. Is it large?
I don't know. I've never measured it, Jay.
I don't know. Mine was like so long, it was like almost resting on my tongue, so it was a problem.
That sounds disgusting. Actually, you had like an uvula, like you'd smile at someone and be like, "Is that an uvula hanging out of your mouth?"
Well, you could also, for the snoring, they could shave off like the top of your tongue.
Oh my God, the top of your tongue?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So you have more space.
I will admit to being a 9/11 hijacker. That sounds like torture, Jay.
Yeah, I didn't go for that. There's no way I was doing that.
So I'd gone to a doctor. My wife's been bothering me about this for a while. She's like, you got to go to a doctor. There's got to be something they can do about this.
Mm-hmm.
A while back, I went to the doctor. I mentioned the surgery that Jay had. So Jay, you basically could not talk for a week. How bad was it, basically?
It was pretty bad, but also because I have the central apnea, which is different than the obstructive. I could not take the painkiller medication because that would make my apnea come back, and then I couldn't sleep. So I took one right after the surgery, and because of the apnea, I could not sleep for about 36 hours. It was just like nodding like that over and over. So that was terrible.
So the idea basically is that, just for people that don't know, a lot of times they think snoring is linked to sleep apnea. And Jay has sleep apnea. Apparently he had two kinds of sleep apnea. He won the sleep apnea lottery, right, Jay?
Yeah.
So anyway, if you go to the doctor and you're snoring, they basically they have a couple of things. They're like, try to lose 10 pounds, try to this. But there aren't that many things they can do for snoring. The last time I went there about 2 years ago, the guy said, well, that surgery, I don't know if it even really works. And you should just find out if you have sleep apnea. And I was like, well, I don't think I have sleep apnea. My issue really here is the snoring thing. And the guy's like, yeah, you should look into sleep apnea. I'm like, I just want to cure the snoring thing. He's like, yeah, but you should look into sleep apnea. I'm like,
Well, a lot of times you snore because you have sleep apnea.
well, I understood that, but the guy wasn't like,
Didn't sound like he did.
he wasn't presenting me with a cure for sleep apnea. He was presenting me for like, he's like, I'll treat you for sleep apnea. I'm like, I want to be treated for the fucking snoring. That's the only thing I care about.
Well, it's not like there's an anti-snore pill.
I want the anti-snore pill. That's what I want, Jay. Invent that, you'll be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Wives all over the world be like, I'll give you 100,000. I'll give you one of my kids for this. Anyway, so I don't know. The guy, they said they were gonna do a sleep study. I never followed up on it. And so I've again been driving my wife crazy. And so I was like, you know what? I'll go see a different doctor. If he has like a real way to cure the goddamn snoring, I will follow through on all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the doctor. He says, you're gonna have to do a sleep study, but here's how it will go. You do this, you can't. I have to go see another doctor to do this. They get a heart doctor actually to get approved for the sleep study. I'm not sure why. I guess I imagine they're also just paying their bills here. But anyway, you got to get approved for the sleep study. We'll send it to you, and then after that, we can, depending on your sleep apnea, we can try some kind of mouthpiece, and that could cure your snoring. If not, I think based on my diagnosis of you, I think generally the surgery would be effective, and I'll do the surgery if we try the other options first. And I'm down for this. So basically, I'm getting the sleep study coming, I think, next week.
That's bullshit.
And
it's absolute bullshit. Because when I had a sleep study, I had to go to some friggin' sleep lab, have all these electrodes hooked up to me, and had people watching me to the point where like there's so many like things hooked up to you. First of all, good luck trying to sleep with that. Also knowing somebody is like watching you. But then when you have to go to the bathroom, you have to have somebody unhook. So, of course, I have to go to the bathroom, and I don't want to bother these people because it's like this whole thing. So I kind of try and just move my arm and like unplug one of the electrodes, so they have to come in. And I'm like, well, why are you here? You know, I got to pee. And I guess they're watching you the whole time because they came in and they're like, next time, just tell us you have to go to the bathroom. So like they're literally like, and so then of course I'm like, okay, well they're watching my every move, so I hope I don't like have to scratch my balls or like, you know.
Holy shit! Like you like, Jay's just like, so I peed on myself, and apparently they think I have a different problem now.
Yeah.
Do you get to wear like a blanket?
I mean, it's like almost like a hotel room. So you have a bed and you wear what you want. I mean, I usually sleep in my boxers, so I put on like basketball shorts. So it was close enough to what I sleep in, but like, you know, you're in a different bed.
Is it awkward when you have to when in the middle of the night you have to go to the bathroom and they're like, and the guy's like, okay, I'm going to unhook you, and then you're like, so I have an erection. It has nothing to do with you, sir, and it's just like it won't go down fast. I have to get up. Just don't look down, sir.
I was wondering that too. I'm like, what if I like have morning wood that morning? Like it's gonna be like super.
There are so many mornings when I have that. It's just that's super awkward.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole thing was not great.
Yeah. So it's a at-home sleep test for 2 nights. I just said that, like, how am I going to fall asleep with this stuff on? They're like, we understand. They said they understand you have trouble falling asleep with this, but they'll measure when you're sleeping, not when you're awake.
Yeah, I slept so bad I didn't even realize I had fallen asleep, and then they come in at like 5:30 in the morning. You're like, wake up, get out, and I was like, I don't think I fell asleep until like 3 or 3:30, and then I had to work the next morning.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What if the guy comes in? What if the guy's just like, well, you had wood. I was just gonna finish you off. Yeah. So I'm doing that, and then I'm gonna do the mouth thing, and then and like my wife she's like, she understands the surgery is supposed to be really painful. Like I told her, like the guys like said it'll be a week of just pure goddamn hell. And she's like, well, like, I don't really want you to go through that. That sounds really bad. I'm like, but I'll do it for you. And she's like, no, it's okay. Hey, when's the sleep study coming? Yeah, I said I ordered it. I'm going to call the doctor. I'm just going to make sure the order's coming. But you said you don't want me to do this. Yeah. I'm just going to get the process going. You're calling the doctor. I'm just going to make sure they're delivering the thing. But you don't want me to. She seems very aggressive about getting everything going, even though she's like, I don't want you to have this. She basically is like, I don't want you to do this, but like, just rip out your lungs. It's fine. Just rip them out.
Well, I mean, I went to work a couple days later, and my throat was still raw. So I wrote "It hurts to talk" on a piece of paper, and every time somebody came into my office, I would just hold it up, and it worked for a while. I got less work that week. That was when we did the RoboJ episode.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So
at work, they probably were like, "Oh, you know the guy on the third floor? Apparently, he's retarded now."
I mean, I would say we could do a RoboMark episode, but the odds of you being able to like type and function in the show like that quick, I don't know.
I might be taking that week off. We'll see. I'm gonna try to do it. I don't think I can lose the ability to talk for a week until the summer. I mean, like I can't for work. I generally need to talk to do my job, so
right.
I'm gonna wait till the summer to take a week off to basically murder myself. We'll see how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm also like if they say the next step is to wear the mask.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? What kind of mask? What's the mask called?
CPAP.
I'll just say I'll choose the shave the ears off my life thing. I'm just not gonna do it.
No, you don't want to have like the whole podcast crew all on the apnea machine. I think that'd be great.
Well, Brian isn't even like wearing his, and all I know is like my wife will go from like, well, I used to deal with snoring. Now I have like a machine next to me. This is great.
The machine's really quiet.
Okay. Do you snore with the machine on?
No.
Didn't you have the machine before you had the surgery?
Yeah.
Were you snoring then though?
No. Well, sometimes I was. Yeah.
So it's like now he wears the machine and he snores with an echo. it's like I'm sleeping next to Bane snoring.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It depends. Some people do, some people don't.
Anyway, I'm not concerned with like. Did you have a lot of the symptoms for sleep apnea?
Like not being able to breathe.
How did you determine you had sleep apnea?
I was waking up in the middle of the night, like out of breath.
Oh, that shit doesn't happen to me.
I mean, but there's different things. Like snoring is a big symptom as well.
Okay. You just want me to wear a mask, don't you?
I kind of do.
Okay.
You look like you're a jet pilot in Star Wars movie.
It's just like I'm in Top Gun. If Top Gun had trouble sleeping.
If Top Gun was like the most depressing movie of all time.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Hey, if on a different note, if you met my kids,
Mm-hmm.
I think you've met my kids before.
Mm-hmm.
If you met my kids and I said to you, I'm like, you were talking to them, I was like, hey Jay, tell my kids what it was like when you were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell them about? What's something you would like go? Tell them what life was like when you were a kid.
I don't think you would like that because you probably don't let your kids do like half the stuff that I did when I was growing up.
What were you doing? Like,
well, I remember just like all the kids in the neighborhood would just go out and we would have to be back by like when it got dark out and like nobody knew where we were. And we were young. We were like 10 years old.
Okay. So you basically would tell them stories about you running around the neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, we'd play baseball, we'd ride bikes. It's not like we were doing anything bad, but like it was a lot of like outdoor stuff, you know?
Okay. And if you, same scenario, some reason, like my kids meet your dad. And I said the same thing, like tell them what life was like when you were a kid. What you think what kind of topic would your dad tell them about?
He would probably talk about like playing stickball in the street or, stuff like that. I think he knows better than to tell them he grew up in the South Bronx and was in a gang and stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's anyway. So
maybe when they're older, he would tell those stories.
When that's actually he come on the show and tell those stories.
Yeah, he has a few.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were visiting my dad, and I said to my dad, like, "Hey, tell the kids about what life was like when you were a kid." What do you think he told them about?
He probably told them about the prices of bread and yeah, my dad tells a lot of stories like that too. Like, yeah, this cost
Yeah,
a nickel and this cost a dime, and it.
that is
Um,
interesting. I feel like the fact that like how like the money, like you can get things for a nickel when you can't do that now.
I know it's like if I were kids, I'd tell them how I used to get Taco Bell tacos for 49 cents, and now they're like $2.
I remember you used to be able to. I don't like you used to be able to like put a quarter in a machine and get a soda or something.
Yeah, yeah. Or I remember
Uh
you went to the movies and it was like 250 for a matinee.
so anyway, where I was going with this, I said to my dad, "Hey, tell them what life was like when you were a kid," and then I was just doing something else, not paying attention, and I hear my daughter. My kids, by the way, are 9 and 7. For those that are listening, I hear my daughter turn to my dad and go, "So wait, you didn't go to school with black people?" And I was like, what the fuck are you telling them about?
And what
So
was he telling? How did that come up?
I guess my dad he decided to tell them that he went to school with only white people. Schools weren't integrated when he was a kid. That's what he decided. The topic on a nice day, we're sitting outside. The topic he thinks to tell them about is school integration.
So I'm buying furniture for the new apartment yesterday.
You're buying what?
Furniture for the new apartment
Okay.
yesterday. And so,
By the way, for this show, Jay he's closed on a new place. He'll be moving, I guess, later this week.
yeah, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So, first of all, this guy is like a pro. He comes in, he introduces himself, and then he backs off. But out of the corner of my eye, I see he's always about 20 feet away and he's watching our every move. And anytime we linger near any piece of furniture, he somehow just appears next to us and has a comment about that piece of furniture. Did you know this was made with the wooden whatever? And then he would disappear again. But I always watching us. But anyway, we picked out a piece of furniture and we're on the checkout line. And there's a lot of people speaking Spanish around us. And he just turns to me after like, an hour of like friendly conversation. He's like, yeah, it's kind of like we're at the beach in the Dominican Republic. And I'm like, whoa, you can't say that while you're at work. It's like, keep that for your like poker buddies, dude.
And you were like, dude, that's kind of dude, like that's why are you commenting on everyone's like.
I just want to be like,
things
I
best?
am not with this guy. Like,
And he's just like, no, I just meant like the beautiful view here in the furniture store. It's like the beach.
I just blurted it out. Like, it's like, dude.
You're like, because these goddamn Spaniards. I'm sorry. I don't. They also probably speak English, dude. They hear you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're literally 2 feet from them. So kind of keep it down, please.
Choosing the language of the country you're living in is not speaking in code.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, my dad just like, I don't know why he had to tell them about like, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's a good thing to tell them, Dad. Thanks for being so honest.
Great.
Like, anything else you want to tell them about? You want to delve into the Holocaust?
Now you have to like screen all your conversations between your dad and your kids.
I was just like, holy shit! Like, really? I was like, Dad, I meant tell them what it was like without cell phones. You fucking do that? Tell them what life was like before the internet.
Right.
Tell them when you first got a TV and that was a new thing for the family.
Tell them when you lost somebody's number, you just never talked to them again because there was no way to find them again.
Yeah, exactly. To tell them anything tell them how they invented the car when you were a kid, because that's how old you are. Tell them that. Anyway, but what if the guy just kept making comments to you? You'd be like, yeah, I bet they're stealing from me.
I mean,
like, sir, please.
If the line didn't start moving, I bet he would have. Like, he seemed like he wanted nothing to do with like anybody who wasn't speaking English.
Yeah, my friend used to have a bit about like, he's just like a joke basically. He would do about like you'd be at like a bar, like whatever. You're talking to the bartender, and like guy gets a little political, but like he keeps saying things that like you're like heavily drinking, and you keep saying things that make sense. He's like, yeah, like they really need to like this government needs to like how can they charge for healthcare? Everyone needs healthcare. It's a right for people. And you'd be like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, and these companies are making outrageous amount of money on the back of sick people. You're like, yeah. And it's like, it's the goddamn Jew's fault. And you're like, I'm sorry, what? Just like, like have the bartender, like everything you're saying, you're like, yeah. And just like at the end, it gets super racist. And you're like, holy fuck.
I've seen InfoWars comments like that.
So Jay has a new apartment. Congratulations, Jay. How's it feel?
I was reading Anthony's comment. He said he had a girl when he was in school, met her, fell in love with her, and then he lost her number. She changed schools, and he never saw her again. It was really like that. Like there was a couple times because with when I went to Northeastern, you had quarters instead of semesters. So everyone was always like, you were supposed to like work in your field for 2 quarters a year and go to school for 2 quarters a year. So everyone was always like, maybe we're in school this quarter, but then I do an internship and you're still in school or vice versa. And there was so many times where I'd like lose a girl's number and then like never, then we'd be on different schedules and I just never see them again. And it was just like pre-internet days is like, that's it. Like, I guess I'll just never find them ever again.
It is so weird how like it was so hard to keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
Someone leaves your town, if they're moving, you're like, okay, I guess you're going to the planet Mars. It doesn't matter where you're moving. You might as well, like, it's just, you're gone forever.
Yeah, and when you're younger, it's even worse because even if you keep their number, if your parents are like, well, I'm not driving an extra 20 minutes to that kid's house, you're like, okay, I guess we're not friends anymore.
My daughter loves this game called Roblox. And it's like a very popular game among kids. And she has this one friend they play all the time. And like, it just seems like anytime she goes on, this friend's always playing and whatever. The friend, like the family may move to Florida soon. And I'm like, if they move to Florida, it's almost like their relationship, like her friendship will not change at all. They'll still be able to play this game with each other and talk to each other just the way they're doing it now. It won't make any difference.
Yep.
Like they'll just be like, the friend will just tell her how she's living in Florida and they'll still talk every day on this game.
Yeah.
It's such a different world.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Anthony. He's congratulating me on the apartment.
So, how's it feel to be a homeowner, Jack?
So far, it's been just nothing but stress, but hopefully it'll feel better like next week.
Yeah, I found. I mean, I did this a number of years ago, but it's insanely stressful, and you feel like you're spending like between the actual buying the place and then like you're furnishing it and everything else, you feel like you're just spending so much money in a short period of time.
Yeah, so much money, and then the furnishing, because I have a co-op, I have to like get a specific date, and that eliminates online, because online is always like, you'll have it by the 24th. But
wait, what's the rule? You were telling me off the air that your building has said you can't get things delivered unless you give them advance notice.
Right, because they pad the elevator. So
you mean like furniture, basically?
Yeah. So I could get like an Amazon Prime delivery or whatever, but like if it's delivered by a truck, I have to call them. They have to get whoever to like pad the elevator for the day, and so like I can't just go online and order a desk, for instance, because it'll be like delivered by the 24th, and I'm like, well, that's like a 5-day span. I can't do that. And apparently, finding a desk in real life is like almost impossible now. So.
Finding a desk is hard?
Yeah, we went to like 15 places.
Why is it so hard to find a desk?
First of all, I'm trying to get an L-shaped desk, which is incredibly easy to find online, but like no stores have it.
Sir, I mean, we just don't have a desk in stock, but your store is called Desks Are Us. Sir, we just don't have, I mean, we can't meet the demand for all that. There's no other customers here, and you don't have any desks? We have no desks, sir. The desks have been dying of COVID, sir.
I mean, it's either like they call it a desk, but it's really just like a piece of wood with 4 legs. And I'm like, okay, that's not
the shittiest.
Yeah.
Jay just like, wait, that's just a stump of a tree. That's one of our cheaper models, yes, sir.
Or like I finally found an L-shaped desk today, and it was like $1,500. And I'm like, fuck you.
Wait, I have a question for you though. Like a lot, like when you buy a desk online, it gets delivered in a box. It doesn't come pre-assembled.
No, but if a truck has to come and deliver it, that's where I need to get the
Are
elevator
you
pad.
sure? Because like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Amazon trucks come all the time. It's just gonna be a big box.
If it doesn't fit in the little mail room, and I don't think a huge 200-pound desk box will, then I need that delivery.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing because they're gonna have people come in to deliver it, and to do that, I need like.
Did they just add? Did they just add this rule when they found out you wanted to live there because they need to make your life slightly more worse?
Maybe they're like, okay, well, the neighbors are quieter. There's no dogs. There's no band next door. There's no black mold. What can we do? What can we do?
Is it? How are you going to deal with all these things? So, like, tell everyone how shitty your situation is where you currently live.
So, yeah, right now I had the downstairs neighbors move out, but they had a subwoofer that shook our entire floor, which is funny because I haven't mentioned our third floor neighbors on the show ever. They're actually cool, and I hung out with them for the first time on Friday. And one of them was telling me that she's like, the floor is shaking, and her wife was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, no, I swear the floor. She was hearing the subwoofer below me, and I'm on the first floor. So if you think I was exaggerating about how loud that was,
I just asked you a quick question. They were a married lesbian couple?
Yeah.
Were they hot?
I don't think it's appropriate to for you to fantasize about my Friday night hangout.
Just tell me, what were they wearing? Were they wearing lingerie?
Yes, we went to a bar and we were all in just lingerie.
No, not you. I don't want to know about you, Ty. But anyway, the lesbian couple, were they having a pillow fight?
Are you done?
Never. Go on, Jay.
Yeah. So I had that. I had a band move in next door. I have a front neighbor. I have a front neighbor who this lady talks from early morning until late at night, very loudly, and it's just a running commentary on her life. And I just hear her voice all day. She also got 3 little dogs that bark at everything, so it's like a front door alarm anytime somebody goes in or out. And when
it'd be great if it was great if it was a running commentary, but only about you. She's like, the goddamn guy that lives next door. He does this podcast at night. What a goddamn loser. I don't know how that girl stays with him. And you're like, I fucking hear you.
He's doing another episode about me. Unbelievable.
Oh my God. And he has this black mold. Like, the black mold's going to get to my apartment. Oh my God. I can't believe he like lives with that black mold. And it was all a joke with the landlord.
So they only leave like maybe once a week. But when they leave the apartment, the dogs howl the entire time they're gone. So it's even worse when they're gone.
I have a neighbor whose dog like howls throughout the day. It's like it's fine because it's not that loud, but like you hear it all the time. You're like, oh my God.
And
yeah, I'm in a house and I hear a dog from across the street. So it's possible, Jay, that you maybe when you don't know, maybe your new situation won't be as good as you expect.
It can't be worse than this. They also play the TV insanely loud. I knew which episode of Family Guy they were watching the other day.
Oh, okay.
Anthony says, am I sure I made a wise decision moving? He's just laughing. Yeah, I think it was good. What's up, Zapatekos? And then now upstairs is another crazy lady who got a giant dog and decides to play fetch with it at about 5 in the morning.
Fetch in the apartment.
Also is an insomniac and like paces back and forth. And we have very creaky floors in this building.
Do you think if your apartment was on fire, it'd be worse or better?
I think if the apartment was on fire, if I didn't call the landlord, nobody would. This place could burn to the ground and nobody would say anything. We had no power one day. Nobody called the landlord. I called him and I was like, yeah, we've had no power for like 8 hours. He's like, yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it. One day the heat was on like way too high by mistake and it was like 90 degrees in the apartment. He's like, yeah, nobody called me. And I'm like, am I the only one that reports these like horrible things that are going on?
Jay's bragging about stuff in the apartment. Not bragging, but he's showing pictures and stuff. Not brag, but like he showed me a picture of a thermostat. Like he sends me a picture. I'm like, he's like, I got a fucking thermostat. Yeah. I'm like, wow, you have a low level of what you're doing.
That's how bad this place was. I am super excited that I actually have control because It's either super cold or super hot in here, and there's no comfortable temperature ever, ever, ever.
Jay's taking pictures. He's like, look at the ceiling. No black mold.
Yeah, it's been an experience in here.
Have you seen any of your new neighbors?
I saw the people across the hall. It's a young couple across the hall.
I was going to ask you if do you know if it's more of a younger or older. Not that it really matters that much, but I was curious if it's more younger or older.
Based on the people I've seen coming in and out, I feel like I'm in like a Jewish retirement home.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, except for when they blow their shofars, you're fine.
Yeah, so it seems like it's going to be a much quieter clientele.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Andy, so when do you officially move?
I officially move on Friday. So we're recording this on a Sunday night. I am moving in 5 days.
That's awesome. How is the you said you were painting and stuff? How's that been going?
I haven't painted a thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
we bought,
way to be on top of that.
Well, no, we bought 5 samples that we thought we'd like, and we painted like a streak for each, and we decided we didn't like it, and then we actually kind of liked the living room the way it was. So in the closet was actually the leftover paint for the living room. So I'm just going to paint over those streaks on Tuesday, and do some patch ups because there's kind of like.
So you're basically like, you know what color we like on the walls? White.
No, it's like it's not white.
Okay.
Yeah. The only room I think we're gonna paint is the bedroom because that one's like yellowish and I hate yellow. But the living room is kind of like a.
You hate the color yellow?
I do.
Why?
I don't know.
The sun. You don't like the sun?
I just find the color yellow gross.
Gross?
Yeah.
How do you call the color yellow gross?
I just have like a repulsive reaction to yellow. I don't like it.
Jay, do you want a banana? Get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to eat a banana. Anything yellow, you just have like a horrible reaction to. Hey, Jay, do you want some eggs? Die, bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. Never liked yellow.
Okay. So, what else is going on, Jay? Your story about your apartment's not as fascinating as I hoped.
Yeah, it's just been just running around and like doing a lot of shit, but it's not like.
So how are you gonna? My real question is, how are you gonna do the show if you're happy?
I'm sure I'll find something. I mean, I'll probably have a new job coming up. Who knows how that'll be? I hope
the thing with the building, like the only issue is only be able to move your furniture in on certain days. I don't know how much we can stretch that out, Jack.
Maybe I'll be funnier when I'm not like completely miserable.
Yeah, we'll see. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, we've never experienced that, so maybe it'll happen.
And you also got your first shot of the vaccine?
I did, yeah.
Awesome.
I did it actually 2 hours before I closed on the apartment, so it was a slightly stressful day. The vaccine is like, you go there and they give you the shot and they're like, all right, if your throat closes up and you can't breathe, let us know. And I'm like, whoa. Could you have told me that like before we gave me the shot? So I sat in the waiting room like freaking out for the next 20 minutes.
It's such a weird, I have my second shot coming up this Friday. I have to say, was it a surreal experience for you?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Like the whole, like, because you've been talking about, like, when I was there, they were like, sir, it'll be like another 10 minutes. Sorry, we apologize for the wait. And I was like, I've been waiting for like a year. Take your time. No big deal.
It was pretty quick for me.
Yeah. And then they give you the shot and it's like, I've had needles before. Usually, I don't know. It was a very like a slight, like, boop, and you're done. And I was like, are you sure you put it in all the way? Do you want to put some more in?
Yeah,
it was just over so fast.
I've seen a video. The thing goes in. I didn't look. I looked at the other wall, but the thing goes in like an inch, but like you don't feel it at all.
Like when I give blood, like the needle goes in much more. Even when you get like a flu shot, I feel like the needle goes in a little more. This really was like until my arm, like my arm got sore later, and my first thought when the arm got sore was like, "Oh, good, I actually got it."
Right.
I was worried maybe they're fucking with me. Maybe they're just like they're actually like. Oh yeah, I didn't really like look at that guy, so I gave him the fake needle.
Yeah,
sir, are you sure you actually put it in? Oh yeah, we did. I don't think you, sir. Move on, sir. We're done with you. You didn't actually give it to me, sir. Move on.
Let's see. We got an email from Lorenzo, the
Yeah.
brinkofsanity@gmail.com. He said, "Hey guys, welcome back. How about that Cardano and Tron to the moon?"
To the moon. Cardano hasn't gone up that much. Has Tron gone up a lot?
I haven't really looked at Tron, but Cardano didn't. It got added to Coinbase and then did not much.
I mean, the whole thing is just so. I can't believe at some point what was Bitcoin when we started talking about it? Like 3,000?
I think it was like 2,500.
Yeah, because right now it's at like 56,000. It got to the 60s a little while ago.
Yeah, it hit 63. And Ethereum hit 25 the other day.
Holy crap!
I don't know. Good stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about those. So we're at the point now. Have you know where we are with the vaccine? Now we got to the point really where like it used to the appointments were really hard to get. Now appointments are apparently pretty easy to get, and it's just convincing people to get the shot.
Mm-hmm. Anthony said, I got the second shot 2 weeks ago. For the first 2 days, it was like nothing. Then around the third, I felt like shit. Spent the next 7 days feeling like I was dying.
The next 7 days?
That sounds like you just got COVID.
Yeah, this is so silly. You got COVID. Yeah. That's a little weird.
Yeah, I'm worried about like getting it now because I had to go to like 40 different stores looking for all this furniture. And I'm like, oh my God.
You should have bought it online and dealt with your building.
Yeah, for the desk, I'm almost tempted to just order it and be like, I didn't know.
You're just like to tell them you thought it was in a box. It's like, oh, I thought that didn't count as furniture. It's the box. I'm assembling it. I thought it was only pre-assembled furniture.
I know. I'm trying not to like be
Piss
on
them off.
anybody's radar right now because like with the new guys, and I don't want to like complaining and like
Yeah, but it wouldn't be the biggest of deals.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. I find that the anti like the so as far as the vaccine, the people that won't get it, I find it like they said like 45% of Republicans won't get it, and not to get political about it, but you find it weird the whole like I don't know. I find that like I guess my thought is that you see people who will like eat fast food, they'll drink soda, they'll just basically poison their body, but they're like the vaccine. No, I'm not putting that in my body. My body's a temple.
They're like smoking cigarettes and drinking a 12-pack of Bud Light every day.
I realize you go to the supermarket, anything in a box, in a package, most of the ingredients I've never heard of, and I don't think twice before putting that in my body. But the vaccine, people are like, I got to look into this first.
Let me do my research.
You're like, those crackers, like most of the ingredients have 37 vowels in them. Yeah. But I mean, like the crackers are good for me. Got to look into this vaccine. Hey, can you do the smallest thing for our country? Just get this little thing. You won't get sick, and we'll be in a better place. Nah.
I mean, because you asked me to, I'm purposely going to say no now. Because that's the American way.
Don't fuck with my freedom.
Yeah, it's the American way. Do you want to do top 5?
Sure. We got top 5 for the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So which one did you want to do?
So why don't you tell everyone what the top 5 is and see if they can vote?
Okay, so we have top 5 shows before the year 2000 and top 5 ridiculous.
I want top 5 shows before the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we just that wasn't the topic you told me.
That was literally your idea.
I texted you. I said top 5 shows that hold up. I don't know. I guess I kind of did that anyway.
Well, how are you gonna do a show that holds up if it just came out?
Well, no. Top 5 shows of like before 2000 that still hold up that you could watch now.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than top 5 shows because you could say a show was a really great show, but it may not be a show you want to watch now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my maybe you're. And I'm also positive you're going to, instead of picking mainstream shows that everyone knows, you're going to pick like some obscure shows that only people in a small country in Europe have ever heard of, and be like, you're like, I have all the seasons. I watched them all. I don't know why you don't know about the show Zingis and His Funny Neighbor. It was a great show. It ran 17 seasons in Bulgaria, and I love that show. It really holds up if you can. You just have to read the subtitles for the Bulgarian.
The other top 5 is top 5 ridiculous shows to bring back, because they seem to be bringing back a crazy amount of shows.
Let's do that list first.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Whatever. So coming to Fox, Nick Fox this fall. We're bringing back 2 shows, not 1, 2 shows. You know how we all want to watch shows where white families adopt black kids? White people owning black people. Coming to Fox. We're bringing back Different Strokes and Webster.
I want to say I looked up like 8 shows and found out they were like coming back already. So like I had to like redo my list like 3 times.
I didn't look. Which shows did you look up that were coming back?
It was a lot of like crappy like sitcoms that used to be on, like Mad About You and Murphy.
Mad About You?
Yeah, and Murphy Brown and like all these random like weird.
Murphy
shows.
Brown already came back. For briefly at least.
Did it?
Yeah. I did used to watch Murphy Brown back in the day, but I didn't watch when it came back. Do you think, Jay, they don't do enough shows where white people own black people?
That seems like I almost want them to come back just to see the uproar and how everyone freaks out about it.
Do you think woke society today would be in for those shows? There's such weird, like not 1 show, but 2 shows about black midgets basically being owned by white families. I don't know, adopted, but like by white families. It's just like a weird, like, they're like, hey, you know what would be trendy? If we get like a short black kid and like the white family like makes his life better. He rescues him from the jungle. I don't know. It's a bizarre premise of the shows.
They were both pretty popular too.
And they both like, it wasn't like they took like just black kids. They took black midgets for both, like or whatever. I don't know is what the correct word is, but both kids, they never reached normal height.
No, they didn't. Yeah, that was the weirder part about it.
It was like we're only gonna cast you if you'll never get taller than this.
The show I think it would be ridiculous to bring back is The Facts of Life.
Oh man, my next one on the list.
Is it?
Yeah, because it was. If you watch an episode of Facts of Life, I don't know if you've watched anytime recently.
No,
I watched one maybe like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a poorly written shit of a show. Like nothing. Like they look like dumb. The script must have been written by. It must have been like this. They employed people with like Down syndrome. Like the scripts were so bad. It'd be like, Tootie, you were mean to me. Oh, okay, you're sorry. What a great episode. Thank you, Tootie.
A lot of 80s shows were like that. Like somebody gets upset and then they have this big emotional like apology and then they make like a stupid joke at the end and the show ends.
What actor who had a regular occurring role on The Facts of Life had the most successful career?
It's going to be somebody really random like Rob Lowe or something.
It's someone that's very famous who had a very strong, a very good movie career.
I don't know.
George Clooney.
Huh. He's had some random roles early in his career.
What other TV show was he on?
ER, right?
Okay. Yeah, ER. That was his big show. What show was he on after Facts of Life and before ER?
Oh, that I don't know.
Roseanne.
Really?
He was in the first season or 2 seasons, he was her boss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. George Clooney. Apparently, I am the biggest fan here on Brink.
Anthony says he remembers Dads.
What did he say?
He said he remembers Dads. That show was terrible.
What actor on Growing Pains had the most success? Who had some regular role? So had a recurring character for some time period. Had the most fame out of Growing Pains.
Wasn't it like the stepmom or whoever she was, the older lady?
No, well, I mean, people. Leonardo DiCaprio was like a homeless person they took in.
Okay. I would love to watch Alf at This Woken Society or the Bill Cosby Show.
I was on my list also. God damn it!
Bill Cosby's on my list too.
The Bill Cosby Show. I feel like they should bring them back so badly.
It's just the rest of the family, and they visit Bill in jail.
Or I think I've said this before, but basically I just want to watch old episodes of the show, but like have them do a little voiceover, like addition, like when he's like, okay, I'm going to go deliver a baby and rape a woman.
Allegedly.
You just like keep just throwing in like oh son, you can't do that. You should give sleeping pills to women and then rape them. Anyway, see you later, son. Want a pudding pop?
Did you watch that show where he had like that magic pen?
No, tell me.
He had like a Saturday morning show, and he would draw things, and he had this giant pen, and he would go to doodle-doodle-doodle, and I thought the pen made the noise. I didn't know he was doing it the whole time, and I wanted that pen so bad, not knowing he was just making the noises.
What was his other show? He had Fat Albert. He had Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Yeah, he had.
Do you remember that?
He had Cosby. He had the Cosby Show, and he had a show before both of those too. He had a lot of shows.
Because the Kids Say the Darndest Thing. I'd also want to bring that back, but have every kid the darndest thing they say is "You raped my mom." What was the? Because I know it's the Cosby Show with the Huxtable family.
Mm-hmm.
What was Cosby? What was the show before that?
Before
the Cosby, you said he had a show called Cosby before the Cosby Show.
Yeah, so he had I Spy.
I Spy, yeah.
Then Fat Albert, then the Bill Cosby Show, and then the Cosby Show.
Okay. Supposedly he was also a giant asshole. Beyond the raping.
Just not including the raping, he was also more of an asshole.
Do you remember the whole thing about he would lecture black youth by about pulling up their pants?
Yeah.
He was like, you need to pull up your pants after you rape a woman.
And eat the pudding pop. Okay, so we did 3 of yours, right?
Is there anyone that we've watched when we were a kid, like anyone on a show pre-2000 that would have been funnier to become out as a rapist? Could you have picked anyone on any show that would have been a more hilarious character to become like a horrible human being?
Wilfred Brimley?
Yeah, but he didn't have a show, did he? He was like the...
Yeah, he was Silver Spoons.
Oh, was he on Silver Spoons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be...
I had an ex who once had a nightmare that Wilfred Brimley fingered her with his toe.
Was that an erotic nightmare?
I think it was one of those weird ambient induced. There's a lot.
What was the next question? So Jay, can you wear the Wilfred Brimley mask? If she asked you to wear the Wilfred Brimley mask and finger her with your toe, would you have done it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I'd say my third one is Sister Sister.
That was with
Tia and
what
Tamara.
Was that? Yeah.
No reason other than the fact that it was not even popular when it was on. So to bring it back when they're like in their 50s would just be like so hilarious to me.
Yeah, there are so many shows that like is also just be like you were like, here's Blossom, all to the demand. Everyone, I know you guys all want to see Blossom again.
Right. Do they even have Joey on the new Blossom going, whoa?
You'd be like, Joey's like, yep. What have you been doing since Blossom? Waiting for the phone call for new Blossom?
Yeah.
My next one was Three's Company. Because I just think it would be hilarious. Like, I'm going to pretend I'm gay so I can live with 2 women. Woke community, are you going to lose your mind yet? Just the guy pretending to be gay.
Yeah, that plot wouldn't go over well either.
Or the updated version where he pretends to be like a trans female.
Right.
Or whatever. And he's like, Mr. Roper, my pronouns are, and the woke community is just like killing themselves.
My fourth one is Entourage.
Wait. Was just going back to Three's Company. Also, how did that show? Like, how would you say like, hey, it'll be funny because he's pretending to be gay? That was like something that everyone's like, sounds good. That's hilarious. Let's watch that.
For like 7 seasons.
It's just like the where our side like our standards now. Okay, go on Entourage. Entourage. So before you even go on about Entourage, I would so gladly watch that again, and I'd be happy they brought that back. Are you kidding me?
That show got completely unwatchable the last like 2 seasons.
I agree, but it was very watchable the first couple seasons.
Yeah, but then
it was really enjoyable. If they came back with a new if they were bringing Entourage back with a new cast, would you be like, sure, sounds good?
Oh no, I'm talking about bringing it back with the original cast, and Vince hasn't gotten work since the original episode, and so there's none of the flashy lifestyle. He's living paycheck to paycheck, and he's just like doing like Uber Eats or something.
So basically, him and E are like, E, I don't know about this G for P thing. And he's like, no, it's not, you won't be gay. They're just you have to do some guys. You just get paid. Come on, this is where your career is.
He'd be like, Johnny Drama, why'd you tell me to put all my money into Dogecoin?
So basically, you just want a really fucked up Entourage.
It's just like depressing, like his career's over, and they bring the show back anyway.
I got it, actually. I got it. Because they were from Queens, right?
Yeah.
So they fail out of Hollywood, and they have to move into your old apartment. And then, like, the episode's like, Johnny Drama, could you go and tell the band next door to stop playing? E, you got this black mold there. How are we living with black mold? How am I gonna audition for these parts with black mold in the apartment?
Will that lady next door please shut the fuck up?
Johnny Drama, you said there are lesbians upstairs. Are they hot?
What's your last one?
My last one. Small Wonder.
Was that
Remember Small Wonder?
Was that the little girl that was a robot?
Yes. But like, I want it updated for the year 2021. It'll be like she's part young daughter, part Terminator. And she just turns around like fighting crime.
Or how about just the same Small Wonder? They'd never upgraded her technology, so she's like a robot girl, but like actual robots are smarter and better than she is now.
Or the brother just can't figure out why his sister not getting older. Mom, yeah, she's a midget. Sorry, I think she's a robot. Mom, she's not a robot. Stop it.
See, my last one is Doogie Howser. So it's still him, but he's like 50 now. And the whole point of the show is that he was like a 10-year-old doctor. So now it's just like a normal doctor show.
This is the second show you've named where, yeah, it's just like, you're like, oh my God, you figured out how to do your job, you 50-year-old man.
You have 40 years of experience and you could do your job now. They're just like nothing
They're
special.
like, wow, this is crazy. The doctor has been practicing for the last 30 years, knows what he's doing. Whoa.
It lasts like one episode.
Yeah. He's still stalking, was it Winnie Cooper? Or no, that's from Wonder Years.
Yeah,
whatever. But you've named two shows I kind of want to see come back.
Really?
I would totally have Entourage back, and I would totally have Doogie Howser back. They were kind of fun.
What if they brought Doogie Howser back, but it's actually Barney from How I Met Your Mother as a doctor?
Yeah.
He just tries to fuck all the nurses.
It would be even better. That would really be great. I thought the Entourage one. What if they just did instead of it would be like the new version of Entourage would be like them being YouTube stars.
Yeah, they just make TikTok videos.
Yeah, exactly. I'd want to. Okay, so top 5 shows from before 2000 that hold up today.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So my first one is part of a show. The Simpsons, first 9 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a little like it completely holds up. If you watch it now, you're like, oh, this is hilarious. And if you watch any season thereafter, you're like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, the show's still on, so that's kind of a cheat.
So my kids like The Simpsons, and my daughter will watch she'll watch like tons. I tell them, like, do not watch after season 10, whatever you do. And I didn't even know, did you know they have a new beginning to The Simpsons?
No.
They redid the beginning?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. But you watch the show, it's like the same it's the same characters. The writing is so goddamn poor.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, you're just watching, you're like, they have like, it's become like zany thing happens and zany, like just lots of zany things happen without humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got wacky, like,
Yeah. It's wacky, but no cutting, like no real, not funny.
yeah.
And I watch it, I'm like, oh, maybe the show wasn't that funny. Then you go back to an old episode, you're like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know you didn't like that. Okay.
Let's see. The sketch
Are
comedy.
you gonna say
what?
Are you gonna say Perfect Strangers? You better not say Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers is on my list. I've been watching
Holy
it.
shit.
I'm on season 3. It's good.
Who the fuck is watching Perfect Strangers like by season? Oh, well, I don't want to skip ahead. Don't tell me what happens.
It's good.
I wonder if he ends up going to Ikebak. Where's he from again?
Meepos.
Meepos. Oh, I want to know. I want to see that episode where he ends up at Meepos. What do you think happens in the series finale of Perfect Strangers? He kills Balky?
No, I know like Larry and Balky and the two neighbors get married and they move into like a big house together, but I don't know what happens in like the final episode.
Well, I guess you're gonna find out. How many
I'll find
seasons
out.
of the show are there?
8.
Okay. Where are you? Is that on Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
I cannot believe you're like. You really think that show is funny?
I do.
Oh,
The physical
God.
comedy in that show is great. I mean,
Holy
there's a lot of cheese in it, but like their physical comedy is like really good.
I mean, okay.
Have
whatever.
you haven't watched it?
I watched it when I was a kid. Like I watched a bunch of it. When I had no taste for shows, and I was like, well, this Perfect Strangers is as good as I watched Who's the Boss, Growing Pains. I watched all that shit.
But you're
Head of the class.
But you'd be totally excited about Doogie Howser coming back.
I don't know. I feel like that was like a solid concept. I feel like that would be a fun
A
one.
10-year-old doctor? That's a stupid concept.
I know. I like that concept. Well, it's kind of cool. Like he's like this young doctor, like wowing people. I do like your version of it. Like, wow, 50-year-old man, way to impress us. Could you get this? Could you get to work on time, dude?
It's basically just an episode of VR at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
My next one was the Golden Girls.
that's on my list too.
Okay. Then my next one is the Twilight Zone. I went old school.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. That is such a great show. If you haven't watched the Twilight Zone, go back and watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good episodes in that. Outer Limits had some good ones too. That was kind of like another Twilight Zone type of show.
Yeah, I used to watch Outer Limits. That was good too. But the Twilight Zone was just on a whole nother level.
Yeah. Really good writing on that show.
I mean, unbelievable writing, really.
Did you see the Last Man on Earth one?
I haven't seen every episode, but which one was the Last Man of Earth on Earth one?
So this guy wakes up and he's the last guy on Earth, and nobody is alive, and there's no explanation. But he's like an avid reader, and he's super excited because he has like a whole library of unread books.
He was no. He there was an explanation. He went into like the bank safe, and then there was like a nuclear explosion.
Oh, okay. So you do know that.
Yeah.
Episode. Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were describing a different episode. This is where the glasses fall at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many great, whatever. There's so many great episodes. What's your next one?
Mr. Show, sketch comedy show. It's Bob.
Oh, that was the 90s.
Bob Odenkirk, David Cross, Sarah Silverman, Jack Black. A lot of people got their start on there.
Yeah, that's a good show.
The guy who does the voice of SpongeBob.
My next one's, I'll just do my next two. Seinfeld and Cheers. Just both classic comedies.
I knew
both
Cheers
really
was
great.
going to be on your list. I knew it.
I love Cheers. I think Cheers is such a good show.
Seinfeld's on my list too. I'm rewatching that right now too, and it's. I don't know.
Seinfeld's great.
I love it.
It feels like I put those two down. I'm like, this is kind of weak because I'm just going for like all time great shows. I'm not even like picking anything. That's why as I was doing this list, I thought this list was kind of my list was kind of lame because they're all like obvious classics.
Anthony says Friends was awesome.
Friends. Friends. Friends was good. I feel like it wasn't as. And some people really love Friends.
I couldn't get into Friends.
It's also like a lot of people, the younger generation, think The Office was the most amazing show.
Yeah.
Office was fine.
One of my college buddies says he rewatches the entire series every year.
The Office apparently is like if you were 15 years younger than us, like or 10 years younger than us, you would think The Office is the greatest show ever.
I think it's just
Yeah, I'd say the same. Friends was like, I think the early Friends were a lot better than later Friends, but it was good. Not
they fell into that trap where anytime a show has all the characters start dating each other, that's when it's usually over.
Yeah, that's not a great sign. And yeah, they also I feel like at the beginning there was like what's his name? Not who was Chandler was funnier, and he got less funny. They all became
I don't know.
Like caricatures of themselves.
I honestly I didn't make it past like season 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Let's see. I have the Muppet Show.
Of course, you have the Muppet Show. Obviously,
it's amazing. It's amazing. It still holds up.
I don't. So I one thing I'd say is that I've tried showing that to my kids, and they don't think it holds up.
Really? I
yeah, they're just not. They're really. I mean, it's also when you watch it, like it really looks old, so that immediately turns them off.
Mm-hmm.
But they refuse to watch the Muppets, and I guess they haven't really given it a fair shake. But I wonder if does that really hold up?
To me, it does.
Like,
I mean, I still laugh.
No, yeah.
Off.
I mean,
like, I don't know. I think it's amazing.
I feel like I do want my kids. I feel like that one, if they gave it a chance, and I think they don't give a chance to stuff that looks like it's old. Like they don't. It's not like a quality where you're like, oh, this looks like it was made now.
I get it because I put on an episode of Fraggle Rock, and my girlfriend comes in and she's like, "This is so old. What are you watching?" And I was like, "This is awesome. It's so good."
Right, like versus The Simpsons, it's just a cartoon, so it doesn't really look dated.
Yeah,
like it's just there's no issue with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that your list?
I also have Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, the episode where he jacks off in a movie theater.
I don't know. That show I thought was always pretty inventive and funny.
Yeah, that came back for a little bit, right? I
don't think so.
Well, did he do it? He did a play or something. Like he was on Broadway with like Pee-wee's Playhouse or something.
He did a movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow directed it.
How was that?
I didn't watch it yet, but I definitely want to.
I was trying to get my kids to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but they refused to watch that one also.
I love that movie.
We got asked on Facebook, and this will be relevant. The question we got asked on Facebook was, are you guys a fan? This is from Patrick writes, are you guys fans of The Sopranos?
Sopranos?
Yeah.
Yeah. That show was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan.
That was 9. That was put 9. That was, I guess that wouldn't qualify because it was 90s, but that was an all-time great.
Yeah. I actually looked that up, but I think it ran into the early 2000s, so I didn't include it.
Yeah. I have a friend who said he went back and watched it and said it's like it completely holds up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that show would be a very rewatchable show.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do that at some point.
As far as shows you'd go back and rewatch, what shows would you go back and rewatch? Like shows you've seen the whole thing already, besides Perfect Strangers. What shows would you like if you had like some like you were like, I'm gonna go rewatch a show? I'd rewatch The Sopranos. I've rewatched The Wire. I think The Wire is amazing on rewatch. What else would you rewatch? This could be anything. It doesn't have to be. It could be like shows from now. Like
right. I at some point maybe Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was gonna put them. Let's say a top 5 list here. I think the top 5. I'm gonna put Sopranos, Game of Thrones, and The Wire on my list. What else do you put on? Like 5 shows you would like. These are the top 5 shows I'd rewatch.
Maybe Justified.
Justified was really good. I really enjoyed that show.
Yeah. Probably Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad would be on my list.
I
kind of think Seinfeld. You're watching Seinfeld now.
Yeah.
I kind of think that'd be a fun. That show was so funny.
When you watch shows on like the streaming service as opposed to on TV, you get 2 extra minutes of the show.
Wait, what do you mean?
When TV shows go on syndication, they add 2 extra minutes of commercials. So they're cutting stuff out. I could tell you actual scenes from The Simpsons that they cut out on TV that are on like the DVD or on streaming.
Wait, when you're streaming, you lose 2 minutes?
No, you get the 2 minutes. If you watch it on repeat on TV, you're losing 2 minutes.
Oh, so if I watch an episode of Seinfeld, say, on TV, they've taken 2 minutes out, and when you stream it on, what do you stream it on, Hulu?
Yeah.
On Hulu, you'll have 2 extra minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you'll have the original aired episode.
Oh. So when I'm watching The Simpsons on Disney, I'm getting the longer episodes?
Yeah.
Oh. How do you know this?
I was a communications major. I had to learn all this stuff. So, yeah, like The Simpsons, like I would get pissed when I watched repeats on TV because I would be like, where's that scene? And I'd realize I was watching on repeat and they'd cut it out for commercials.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
like Lisa the Vegetarian, they're Homer and Marge are chanting, "You don't ruin friends with salad," and they're doing like the Congo line, like "You don't ruin friends with salad." Well, they go off the screen and then it goes to commercial. But in the actual episode, they come back and Bart's in the Congo line and they're all doing the chant. So,
wow.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anthony said Shameless is a great show. I have not seen that. That's actually on my list. Everyone tells me that's like a really good show.
I like Shameless. I'd say it's I've watched every season. I haven't watched they just aired the last season. I haven't watched that one yet. But and I've heard it was kind of a mediocre last season. But it was a very watchable show. It was a really it was they were really good at keeping the plot going. They just like there's always something happening in the show. They keep moving things. It's a good show. I'd recommend it. It's not an amazing show, but it's a very, very enjoyable show.
And Anthony said Knicks before the year 2000.
Yes, that was a much better show than the current Knicks are playing pretty well, but the 90s Knicks definitely better.
Yeah. Do we have any other Facebook questions?
No, that was it for Facebook. Any other shows you'd rewatch? What about pre-2000 shows? Besides Perfect Strangers again. You freaking weirdo.
I think it's hilarious. I'd
rewatch the Twilight Zone from beginning to end. That's something I would do.
Fraggle Rock and the Muppet Show.
I don't know why you don't just have a kid just so you can force him to watch those shows with you.
I know. I have a whole box in case I have a kid. I have like Duckman, The Critic, Freakazoid.
Oh, those are some pretty good shows. Duckman, I like Duckman.
Invader Zim, like a whole thing. Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
You're like, okay, we're gonna watch all these shows as soon as you can learn to understand what shows are. I've got to wait a few years now.
Right. Dexter's Lab. I don't know if you ever watched that.
No, I thought at first you were just saying Dexter, and I was like, you want to watch a show about a homicidal killer who kills bad guys?
The Dexter's Lab movie was really good.
What was Dexter's Lab?
It was the little kid genius who had like a secret lab in his parents' house, and his sister was always breaking in and like ruining stuff.
I do not think I know that show.
Really?
No.
It was on for a long time.
What was it on?
Cartoon Network.
I didn't have cable until I was in 10th grade or 9th grade.
No, it was on. It was on way after that.
Oh, okay. I just didn't watch it then.
It was on,
I don't know.
It started in 95.
Oh, I would have had cable then.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
It was 4 seasons. So 95 through 98.
I guess I missed it. I'd rewatch The Critic.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about rewatching The Critic. I really love that show.
Actually, it was on 95 through like 2003. Yeah. Anyway.
Mark, they only aired it in your house. It was on your TV at all times. How did you watch this, Mark? Come on. You're lying.
Yeah. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That's a good one.
Not. That's the kind of show I expect you to say for your list. Just like, I'm sorry, Jay. What the hell are you talking about?
It was the same like writer and animation studio as Dexter's Lab.
Okay.
It was basically like imaginary friends are like real, but when the kids get older, they like abandon their imaginary friends, so they all go to this like foster home. So it's like this home of like all these like weird, fucked up like ex like best imaginary friends.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, you want to hear a news story or two?
Sure.
Young Goldman Sachs bankers ask for 80-hour week cap. A group of young Goldman Sachs bankers, 13 employees, say they averaged 95 hours a work week and slept 5 hours a night. And they said their personal relationships also suffered, as did their physical and mental health. And they're asking to only be capped at 80 hours per week. Jeez. What would you say, Jay, if you were their bosses?
See, everybody is like, if I want to advance my accounting career, I should work for the Big Four. That is why I don't work for the Big Four. They
it just sounds so like, could you just make it so I work 12 hours a day every day? I mean, any more that would be great if you could just make that would be a good lifestyle for me.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
Would you do that, Jay? Would you work 80 hours a week to work at Goldman?
That's why I haven't applied to any of those jobs. I know how those work. I'm not doing that. I'm too old for that shit.
That'd be fucking terrible. Can you imagine you just started doing that now? It's one thing to do that when you're younger, but to suddenly I'm going to work 80 hours a week.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I have enough trouble with 40.
Can I get this? I do 80 if you take out the 0. Just 8. Can I do 8 hours a week?
Right.
And what else did I want to tell you about? Oh, have you heard about the high school wrestling coach in Jersey?
No.
Here's the headline. New Jersey high school wrestling coach is CEO of a $100 million firm that owns one deli. There's a company called Hometown International, whose stock is trading at levels that give it a valuation of $100 million. All this company owns is a deli in New Jersey that had combined sales in the last 2 years of $35,000.
So they're selling mountains of Coke out of the back room.
Something like that. Apparently, this guy, he's the head wrestling coach at this New Jersey high school. Apparently, a very noted, people really like him as a wrestling coach. Mm-hmm. Is also CEO of this company that owns this deli that's worth $100 million. Do you think he'll go to jail?
Hi, my deli is worth $100 million, and I definitely don't cook heroin in the back room.
Supposedly, have you heard of the island of Macau? Macau?
Yeah.
It's apparently the major shareholder is from there, mm-hmm. which also is the major shareholder of a deli in New Jersey. It's from Macau.
And there's definitely not women being trafficked out of the back.
Supposedly, I read an article that they clearly something's amiss there. And they think there was an article that was saying allegedly the CEO of Robinhood, the trading app, is somehow involved in I guess laundering money, maybe, possibly, allegedly.
Something's amiss, you think?
Apparently there's a famous hedge fund manager who did a letter to his clients where he pointed out that this is how it became a news story, is that he pointed this out. And he said of the deli that's worth $100 million, he said, the pastrami must be amazing.
I like how it's one of the biggest cases of fraud in the last year. And the line is something is amiss. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So that seemed pretty. So how much would you go? How long would you go to jail to get? Let's just say let's say he walks away with this $10 million. How long would you go to jail to get $10 million? Would you be involved in this scam? I assume the guy's gonna this wrestling coach will still get a bunch of money and somehow involved in this. If I told you how to spend 6 months in jail, how much would I have to pay you to make it worth it?
6 months in jail. I think $10 million would do it.
Okay, so if you need a new CEO for a deli or maybe $100 million car wash, let Jay know. What about a year in prison? 10 million still?
I don't know if I'd make it in jail.
2 years in prison, $100 million.
Hey, Crips, I'm just going to put on my CPAP machine. Please don't make fun and stab me.
Hey, there's no outlet in this cell. How am I going to plug in my CPAP machine?
Do you have distilled water for the humidifier tray?
The
I
guards
can't
are
use
like,
that.
it. You'll just be beaten to death. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
exactly.
do anything.
That's why I don't think I can go through with that.
Also, I got so apparently there are a lot of fears out there, and like being scared of mermaids. The fear of mermaids is called serenophobia. And so my friend was making a joke and mentioned like he like sent me an article on the fear of being scared of mermaids. And apparently there are all these other phobias. And I can't even say these words, but basically all of them. But like there's a fear of aliens, fear of angels, fear of boogeymen, fear of demons, fear of dragons. They're actual real words for all these things. Fear of zombies, fear of vampires, fear of Satan, fear of skeletons, fear of witches, fear of God. Zeus phobia, fear of God. Can you believe they're actually making words for all these things?
I can't believe there's enough people that have fears of things that aren't real that they had to come up with terms for all these things.
I kind of liked in the past when they were just like they had one word, like one phrase for all this. They're like, so what's my technical word? Your technical word is you're fucking crazy. That's what it is. You're scared of mermaids and boogeymen. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah, you're legit afraid of vampires. You're just a pussy.
Or the other word would be you're a kid, because a kid would be scared of all this stuff. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I don't need to come up with a word to explain why my son is scared of the monster under his bed.
Yeah, I mean that's normal.
Yeah. It was just like a funny, kind of a random thing.
When I was a kid, my dad actually had a spray bottle, and the label said "Monster Away Spray," and it was just like incense. And he's like, I'm going to spray the Monster Away spray. If you smell it, you could tell it's working. And then he'd spray the incense, and it was pretty like neat idea.
My wife put on my daughter's part of her closet. There's a sign that says, "There are no bad dreams. Love, Mom."
Does that work?
I don't know. It looks cute though.
Like I've had bad dreams before.
Well, you should get one of the signs.
True. Maybe I'll put up a sign that says there is no apnea.
Yeah, there you go. What else is going on, Jay?
I think I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon, unfortunately.
That's fine with me.
Because I have a whole list of shit to do tomorrow. And
what do you have ahead of you?
Tomorrow I get to go to like every website on the planet and change my address.
Okay.
I have to do a whole bunch of stuff. I have to go to the post office because I sold more of my junk on eBay. I have to do more packing.
So you're moving. What day you're moving?
Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And then we will not be surrounded by boxes and junk when we do the show again.
Are you going to, after you move, are you going to unpack immediately? Or are you going to like let boxes like just sit there for like months?
It depends like what room. Like we've already taken like 3 carloads of stuff, and we're basically taking a lot of the bathroom and kitchen stuff. So
okay,
we spent the weekend like, scrubbing everything down and like disinfecting those rooms. And then those are getting unpacked like immediately. And then we'll probably do a lot of, I'd say half of it will be unpacked immediately. And then we'll have like the second bedroom is going to be filled with boxes for a while.
Okay. I am someone like when we moved, I was like, we have to like unpack everything right now.
I mean, I would like to. I also need to find a bookcase. I have so many books, and like nobody reads books anymore, so there's no bookcases in stores anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
yeah, thanks for joining us in the chat. If you want to chat with us while we do the shows, we do them all live on Twitch. You can go to twitch.tv/crumpledbacon, crumpled with a P. And just hit the follow button, and you'll get a notification every time we go live. We do this, we do our Knicks podcast, and we do some video game shows too.
Okay. And now I'm going to figure out now how to subscribe to our own channel.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. Apparently, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe you get one free subscription per month. So you could subscribe to any Twitch streamer for a month for free every month. And Mark is trying to do that because I set up these cool notifications when people subscribe, and he can't figure it out. So we have not seen.
I cannot figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay, we can end the show. I'm going to try to figure this out before we give me the next 5 minutes to try to see if we can figure it out.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye, my love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.